This isn't good. Hey everybody. I'm having to switch out a charger here very quickly. I thought it was charged, but apparently it was not. So let's get that done, shall we? There we go. Hopefully it's charging now. Yes. Oh, thank goodness. Hello, everyone. There we go. I have to move it around just a little bit. Hello, hello. Welcome. Welcome, Night Dwellers, to Twisted Tales Live. I am your host, Bryn Morgan. I have a question for you. Do you like scary stories? You do? Then welcome and enjoy. Hello, everybody. How are you? Come on in. Let me get set up here. Hello, Tammy. Hello, XJ. Hello, Matt. How are you? Hello. Alvia, how are you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. First thing I want to work on is the music. Let's make sure that we've got that where it needs to be. Come on in, make yourselves at home. There we go. Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, make yourselves at home. Hello, the pirate captain. How are you? Aren't they lovely? Thank you for the FYP. Hey, Marianne. Hey, XJ. Hello, TJ74. Thank you. Hey, Kimmy. Hello, Elaine. Hey, Marilyn. Let's start sharing the live, please. What is everybody thinking about the new background? Thank you for sharing the live. You like it? Wonderful, wonderful. I told you there were changes coming. Come on in, make yourselves at home. Thank you. Do you have 5 friends, 10 friends, 20 on the social media platforms, and you know that they like stories? Bring them in. What do you think of the night realm? There we go. Hello, Libra state of mind. So good to have you back, Mia. Hello, Miss Yen Stewart. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you, Mr. Tim. Hello, Satan. I love apples. Hey, kiddo at heart. So glad. So glad you like it. Keep it fresh. Keep it invigorating. Hello, sweet thing. I have missed you, Mia. So good to have you back. Oh, thank you, Marilyn. Let's see what we got in YouTube land. Hello, Park. It's about horror stories. Hello, Mary. Hello, Sherry. Hey, Truth. The questions? No, XJ, I didn't see them. Ten more minutes. Invite everybody in that you can think of. Tonight's first story is The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Oh, you're most welcome, Roberta. Welcome. Yes, you saw it, Chester. The crystal ball. Hello, who's that girl? Thank you, Anna Ray. We'll have to see, Jester, won't we? Why, thank you, Palm on One. Yes, it is great. Now, the way that the studio is now, it's kind of difficult to stand back and show it completely. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a ball gown reveal on YouTube at intermission. So if you want to go over to YouTube, you'll be able to see the full gown on YouTube. Because I can't move this throne. It's not going to happen. But I can turn the YouTube camera around for sure. Chiller Monday, that is right. Yes, it's a good live for sure. Everyone come in. Start sharing. Let me let you know who I am though. My name is Bryn Morgan. I'm a horror author. I am also a teller of scary stories, paranormal stories, ghost stories, true crime, horror, Appalachian horror, and lore. If any of that interests you, hit that follow button and the notification bell and never miss another Twisted Tales Live. And welcome. I love the new set. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to see it with all the different colors and everything. Blood in the snow, right? Hello, Julie. Hello, Shauna. Oh, Shauna, congratulations on your beautiful grandson. Or should I say, handsome. It is Anna Ray. Hello, Angel Vibes. Doesn't Taylor Lang? Mama Bear, thank you so much. Thank you. First story of tonight will be The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Perhaps you've heard of it. The first Twisted Trinket goal is set. Up here is Bryn's Bewitched Boutique. Go in there and check it out. See what's inside. Whether it is a small trinket or a large one, they're all greatly appreciated and go toward making this the best live storytelling on TikTok and YouTube. Let me go back to YouTube for the next couple minutes here, see what we got. How was the music? I'm hearing on YouTube it's too loud. No, it's brand new, Truth. Hey, Leslie. Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Sherry. Everyone, let me know how the music is on both platforms, please. Good. Perfect. It's great. Hey, Pamela. Good, Julie. Hello, Rose. How are you? Hello, Crystal Spammin. Thank you for the follow. Hello, Janet Cookie. Buddy Boop. Thank you for the follow. Hello. Welcome back, Kimmy. My name is Bryn. Hello, Leo. Welcome back. Hello, Matt Granny. Lore, thank you for the rose. Terry Thomas, thank you for sharing the live. Little Cat, tonight I am wearing silver. With the new position of the throne, I am not able to stand back and get full view, but I will be able to do it on YouTube at the intermission. So, but it is silver. It has very puffy sleeves, beautiful. And then it has a full skirt with an underlining of silver silk, satin, sorry. Hello, Dimples 45, Wolfpack fam, thank you. Thank you, Roxy, thank you. Why, thank you, Shirley Thurlby, appreciate it. Thank you for lighting up the finger heart, Kimmy. Oh, Marilyn, I've lost count of how many gowns I have. Last count, I think it was over 50. Oh, I'm so glad, Lisa Mays. So glad that you enjoy them. Welcome. Hello, Bubble Pop. If you are brand new and you are just coming in, welcome. My name is Bryn Morgan. I'm a horror author. I am also a teller of scary stories, paranormal stories, ghost stories, true crimes, serial killers, horror, Appalachian folklore, lore, cryptids. If any of that interests you, hit that follow button and the notification bell and never miss another Twisted Tales Live. Shall we begin? If this is your first time being on Twisted Tales Live, let us know in the comments. Perhaps you are a silent night watcher, night dweller. Come in and say hello to your family. We want to meet you. As you're coming in, please let us know where you're from and where you heard about Twisted Tales Live. Was it on TikTok, YouTube, Clapper, Likey, Instagram? Let us know. Night dwellers, It's heavily requested that I tell this story, so I'm telling it again. The Exorcism of Emily Rose. But first, let's set the mood, shall we? Lower your lights. Light a candle for ambiance. Lock your doors. Pull those curtains tight. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to enter your room as I begin the story of the exorcism of Emily Rose, told in first person. Chapter 1. She didn't. She didn't come back from the night. I wasn't there when it started, but I was there when it ended. My name's not important in this story because it doesn't, well, it's not about me. It was a family friend. I watched her struggle through something I still don't have the words for. Annalise was kind, smart, quiet. She was obedient to everything that her family told her to do. I've never seen anybody go downhill so fast, but she did. I'm Catholic too. I come from a Catholic family, a Catholic background. Annalise and I went to the same school. But the couple times that I was at her house, it was very strict. It seemed like her mother made them pray over everything. And I remember this one time, all Annalise said was, "I'm not hungry." Her mother made her go in the prayer closet, and she stayed in there for a good 30 minutes, I know. I remember her specifically telling Annalise, "Kneel on your knees while you pray." I remember their floors were stone. It had to have hurt for her to kneel. When she came out of the closet, she looked at me. Her tears were rolling down her face. She was embarrassed, but she was also in pain. Now I know why her knees were always bruised. Now I know why sometimes they were bleeding. Because of having to kneel on that floor. I left there happy that I didn't have that household, that those were not my parents. Annalise stopped coming to school. When I asked a question, one of the girls said her parents decided to school her at home. She's not doing really well, they said. I can understand why, with the torture that they put her through. I told my mom and dad about it. They said, Mary, it's none of your concern. Parents discipline their children in different ways, different methods. If this is how they see that they should discipline Annalise and her brothers and sisters, then that's how it's done. Annalise's first seizure took place when she was 16. It was just a seizure, they said. A small one, then another, then hallucinations. But it wasn't medical, not really, because when she came home from the hospital, nothing changed. First person, Annalise's sister. I managed to escape. It was to be married at a very young age, but I managed to escape. I was thankful when I did. Mother was so religious, but beyond that, she was fanatical about it. We could barely breathe around her. She told us we were sinners if we read the wrong book. She told us we were sinners if we listened to the wrong type of music. She told us we were sinners if we were thinking the wrong thoughts. I remember once I was admiring a girl's gown at church. It was a lovely white gown with lace around the collar and the sleeves. I just looked at it and I said, so pretty. Mother was very quiet when we were walking back to the house. Once we got inside, she grabbed me and she forced me to the floor. On your knees, you ungrateful girl. You are to be thankful what the Lord has provided in this house. I tried to say something and she backhanded me across my face. Go in the prayer closet and you pray for an hour. Do you understand? And when you come out, you better show repentance. So I did. I went in the closet, but I did not pray. Well, I did. I prayed for a way out. So, when my father announced at dinner one night that there was a man who had showed interest in me and wanted me to meet his son, I saw it as a way out, and I took it. I hated to leave Annalise behind. She wasn't as strong as I was. She was weak. She was the good girl, always trying to please mother and father. She would give you the clothes off of her back. But mother picked on Annalise, made her kneel on the floor till her knees bled. I cleaned it up with bandages and soap. Father came over to visit my new husband and I asked him how the family was, and he was very quiet. He said Annalise was not doing well at all. What's wrong with her? Well, we took her to the doctor and they said it was a seizure. But the seizures added up. A small one, then another, and then hallucinations. But it wasn't medical, not really. My father suggested that I go over to the house and visit Annalise, that it would do her good to see her older sister. So I went. She was sitting on the bed in her room that she shared with her other siblings. I walked over to her. Annalise? Hey. She looked at me, but it was almost as if she didn't see me. She was looking through me, not directly at me. I saw something in her eyes, something that scared me. Her eyes seemed darker, void, lifeless. Chapter 2, the voices in Latin. First person, Annalise's younger sister. At first it was just whispers. Annalise woke us up in the middle of the night. She was screaming to the top of her lungs. I was laying beside her. I don't want to sleep with her anymore. She turned to me and she said, "Do you hear them? Do you hear the whispers?" No, I didn't hear anything. Go back to sleep. She woke up again. About an hour later, she was screaming. She told Mother that someone was talking to her, low and fast, right next to her. Father asked her what the voices were saying. She said that the voices told her she was damned, that her soul already belonged to them. Mother made her get out of bed. She just wouldn't leave her alone. She made her get down on her knees. For once, Father interjected. "Stop it, Mary. Can't you see the girl is sick? She needs to pray. If she prays, everything would be fine." Father insisted. The doctors, they said it was psychosis. Schizophrenia, maybe. They gave her pills that made her slow and silent. But she swore that the voices just wouldn't stop. I walked in the room after returning home from school. She was huddled up on the bed in the corner, looking absolutely terrified. "Do you hear them? Do you hear them? I can't understand what they're saying, but they won't stop talking. Do you hear them?" "No, Annalise, I don't." They just got louder. First person, Annalise's mother. Everyone insisted that something was wrong with Annalise, but I tried to tell them she's just disobedient. She's disrespectful. I made her get up out of the bed. She sat at the kitchen table and her eyes were on the wall. I told her to peel the potatoes. And then she just whispered out of nowhere, "He hates that." Hates what? I told her that she was just trying to get attention, to get up from the table and go to the prayer closet. But that was the night that things changed. The growling started. At first I thought some animal had got in the house. The growls were coming from her room, from her throat. And that night, I really heard them for the first time. The voice, low, male, rough, like it was spoken through broken glass. I listened to Annalise speak in Latin, and then Aramaic, then some other language which I could not name. She looked at me, and what she said to me still gives me chills to this day. She said things about me, about her father, about her siblings, private things, sins, stuff no one had ever told before. Mother, I know the thoughts you have. I turned around. What are you talking about? I know the thoughts you have about the man. You know. I know them. I know. Sinner. You call your children sinners, but you're the sinner. Aren't you, Mary? I looked at her, and for the first time I realized maybe what she was having wasn't medical at all. I went in one night to try to pray over her. I took my rosary and prayed. She vomited. We had a priest to come and pray over her, Father Daniel. She tore the holy water from his hands, cut him in the process with her nails. The priest I had known for years, he looked at me and he seemed lost, completely lost. When he was leaving, Annalise was standing up in the bed, writhing and moaning, using profanities such as I had never heard before. She looked at me. You have thoughts about the priest, don't you, Mother? I know the thoughts you have. I know all your thoughts. You can't hide them from me. I backed out of the room slowly. The first priest that came would not come back. We found another. Father Renz came, and the second that he crossed the threshold, Annalise stood up in the bed again. She hissed like an animal and said his full name. Renz, I know what you fear. He looked back at me and her father. Chapter 3. We are many. Father Renz went to the church and asked for an exorcism. The church was reluctant. It always is. Unfortunately, I felt at this point like it was my fault. I brought this on Annalise. The church doesn't like to admit that this kind of thing happens, that demons are real. It's too messy, too medieval. But Father Renz believed, because Annalise didn't need convincing. She already knew who was inside her. The morning that Father Renz came over with an associate, during the first ritual that had been granted by the church, she laughed. Not a girl's laugh, a man's. Then a child's. Then something else tried brittle, like old wood breaking under pressure. Ren stood in front of her. At this point, they had tied her down. She was hurting herself, scratching her face, clawing. Ren demanded the name. Tell us who you are. And what came out of my daughter's mouth still terrifies me. Tell me who you are. I am Judas. I am Nero. Then another. Cain. Hitler. Lucifer. And the final voice so low it rattled the windows, the doors. Annalise stood to her full height on the bed. She lifted her head. I am Legion. We are many. I watched in absolute horror as my daughter's face didn't just contort. It changed. One minute she looked as if she was 19. The next, decades older. Muscles flexing beneath her skin like snakes. Her body convulsed violently, bones cracking. But she didn't break. She didn't bleed. She didn't blink. I went into Annalise's bedroom early in the morning. She hadn't ate for days. She refused any water. Annalise, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I put you through. Please, just eat. Here, drink some water. They won't let me. She wouldn't sleep on the bed anymore. She slept on the stone floor. She gnawed the walls. Her teeth were bleeding. She tore her clothes to shreds. She broke her own fingers and didn't even scream. She said they told her to do it. I walked in her room after she had broken all of her toes and I said, please, come out of her, please. Come out of my daughter. I'm sorry for whatever I did. Come in me instead. They just looked at me through my daughter's eyes. She looked at me, bleeding gums, face swollen, scratched, bloody. She crawled across the floor to me, her body bruised and battered. She looked up at me. This is our house now. Father Wrench told us it was clear this wasn't just a possession. He said he had seen them before. This was beyond anything else he had ever seen. And all the priests that came to the house were the same. It wasn't just a possession, it was a prison. And she was somewhere deep inside it, pounding on the walls to be let out. But they wouldn't let her. Chapter 4, the tapes that shouldn't exist. I don't know how it got to this point with Annalise. First person, Annalise's older sister. Mother asked me if I would come over and sit with Annalise. When I was with her, she seemed calmer. They were going to start recording the sessions. Father Renz didn't want to, but Annalise told him between the episodes, "You'll need proof. You'll need proof." They won't believe me when it's over. She actually spoke calmly, rationally. My sister had 67 exorcisms performed on her in total, each lasting hours, each worse than the one before, screaming, speaking in other languages that Annalise had never learned, never been privy to, and each one was recorded. You can still hear the tapes if you wish, and if you know where to look. But I'll tell you what's on them because I sat in the very next room. Which of these objects is used in hoops or basketball? What in the heck? I did. Which of these objects is used in hoops or basketball? What in the heck is this? Oval and pointed? I don't know what this is. Which one of these objects is a musical instrument? A guitar. A chair, I think. What in the heck? Which one of these is used like pages? Has anyone seen this weird thing now that TikTok is doing? What is this? Which of these objects has a lens. Glasses. Which of these objects has a crown? A pineapple. This is really weird. I don't know why it's doing this. So odd. Strings. A guitar. It's not. Guys, I'm gonna have to just thrown by a quarterback. A football, of course. It's acting very strange. A hat. Which one of these just glasses? Which one of these objects? I've never in my life. An umbrella. Something's going on with it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to stop the live and go back in. Very odd. I don't know. I don't know. I've reported it, but I don't know. It's just not wanting to work. The live is going to end, apparently, but I am going to come back. And I'm going to have to make a different decision here. Just 1 second. That is really, really odd. I don't know why it did that. It is going to end though. Try it again this way. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Yeah, and it just would not agree to any of the puzzles that I tried to do, which was very odd. I don't know. That is really, really weird. I've never had that happen. Not ever. I don't know. I have no idea. Very odd. Not exactly sure what happened there. I hope TikTok doesn't keep that, because that is no good. Has anyone else had that happen to them? Please let me know. That was very odd. I don't know why that it did that. But I think we're back to that. If you're just coming back in, TikTok gave me something I've never seen before. And when I would try to click on the image it was asking about, it would say incorrect answer. So I have submitted a ticket about it. I don't know exactly why that it did that, but we will continue. That is horrible. I hate that I did that. That's bad. But we will continue. We will go on. I don't know what happened there. Very odd. Extremely odd. But I'm going to continue. You can still hear the tapes if you know where to find them. But I'll tell you what's on them because I sat in the next room. It sounded like my sister was dying. It started with screaming, and her screams were raw and guttural, not human, not at all human. And then the voices began to layer. I heard not one, not two, but all 6 voices. And they were talking over each other. I heard the voices mocking the priest. I heard them reciting scripture backwards. I heard them listing sins of people who'd never even met them. One of them even said to the priest, "You have thoughts about the pretty girl in the next room, don't you?" And then to another priest, there was another voice. "I saw what you did in 1954. And here you are acting like you're holy. You think he's listening to you? He turned away from you years ago. She's ours. We earned her." I think the tape that scared me the most was I heard these terrible screams, but the voices had stopped. I got up from my chair and I walked to the door and I slightly opened it. And what I saw absolutely terrified me. Annalisa's body was levitating off the bed. I actually saw my sister levitate off the bed, and the priest was standing back in awe, in fear. Another video captured the sound of her bones breaking and bruises, but no wounds. First person, Annalisa's father. I listened to my daughter. She laughed in voices that didn't match her lungs. She sang in Latin. She barked like an animal. She screamed until blood vessels bursted behind her eyes. She looked unholy. But she was my daughter, my Annalise. And still, I could tell my little girl was in there. She was fighting. She was fighting. Somewhere in all that horror, I could hear my daughter. I could hear her. The real Annalise, my daughter, begging for life, begging to be let go of. I can look back on it and say that my wife was responsible with her strict discipline. But what good would that do? I could just hear her say, "Don't stop, Daddy. Please don't stop. Don't give up on me. I want to fight them." And sometimes they would answer her. I heard one say, "You're already dead, girl. We're just playing with your bones now." Chapter 5. She chose to stay. First person, Father Renz. This poor girl, her body was breaking, and there was nothing I could do. She weighed just over 60 pounds. Annalise's knees were swollen, ligaments torn from kneeling in prayer for hours every night. I believe her mother did it. I believe she called something to Annalise. I would never tell her, but I believe she did. She hadn't eaten in weeks. She couldn't drink without choking. Her lips were black with sores. Her eyes sunk so deep she looked hollow. She looked like a skeleton with skin pulled over her bones. I didn't want to give up on her, though. I didn't want to give up on her. She was fighting. I was called into the Archbishop's office. The priest had reported that they were terrified of what was going on in the house. They pressured me to stop performing the exorcisms, but every time they hesitated, Annalise would look at them. She would look at us, eyes cloudy but full of something ancient, and she would say, "If they come out of me, they'll go in others." One night, she came out of a trance. It was just for a moment. Her mother was sitting across the room. Annalise woke up and looked at me. Her mouth was dry and cracked. "Mother, I need my mother." We got Annalise's mother's attention. She came over to her and held her hand. I saw her. The lady. I saw her. She told me I can come now. That I can go. Yes. You can go, Annalise. I heard Annalise's mother give her permission. And then Annalise looked at her. But I said no. Her mother wept because she understood what Annalise meant. She was choosing to stay in this pain, to keep the demons within her, to trap them so they wouldn't move on, so they wouldn't find someone else. Selfless. That kind of suffering, you don't think that. You don't imagine that. You endure it because you believe you're the wall between this world and something worse. The church fought me hard. They said it had gone too far. Said it wasn't possession, and she was mentally ill. That's what they said. But they hadn't seen what I had. They hadn't seen what the other priest had, what her mother, her sister, her father had seen. They hadn't heard the voices, the scratching on the walls, the howl that shook the house. She knew the fight was killing her. She knew it. But she just wouldn't let go. And when someone asked her why, she said, because they asked her. And she said yes. Chapter 6, her last confession. I was going to lose my sister. I knew I was. It was May. She couldn't walk anymore, could barely speak. But her eyes, they were still alive, still defiant. Annalise wasn't afraid of death. She was afraid she hadn't done enough. During the final exorcism, she barely interacted, no more screams, no more voices, just trembling, tears, whispers that we had to lean in to hear. She would say things like, "They're almost gone. Don't stop. I'm still here." One priest, Father Alt, held her hand during the final rites. He said that when he placed the crucifix on her chest, she didn't fight this time. She didn't pull away. And in that moment, she looked at him, really looked at him and said, "They're dying with me." That night, she asked Father Wren to make her final confession. I remember the priest helped her to sit up. Bones were shaking. She looked barely human. And yet her voice was calm. I'm afraid. Not of them. What are you afraid of, Annalise? Of what happens if I leave someone behind. I don't want them to get them. She whispered to the priest for a long time. No one heard what she said. No one wrote it down. But Father Rent came out of the room. What is the sheet? His eyes were red. His mouth was trembling. I remember Father walked over to the priest. What does she say? A lot. Like what? She told me what they showed her, he said. Places that don't exist on any map. Her final words, recorded the next day, soft as breath. Mother had been called in. There was no more cursing, no more voices, no more fighting. Mother, stay with me. I'm free. They're gone. And my sister closed her eyes. She passed on July the 31st, 1976. She was 23. Chapter 7, The Trial of the Dead. They didn't bury the case with Annalise, Night Dwellers. Her parents were charged. So were the two priests, Father Renz and Father Alt. They claimed it was negligent homicide. They said, you let her starve. They said it was abuse. They said that they let superstitions kill a girl who needed medical help only. But they had the tapes. They played them in court, in front of the judge, in front of strangers who had never heard what real evil sounded like. And when her voice came through the speakers, low and layered, with 6 others, the courtroom went still. You could feel it in the floor. That presence again. Like something had returned just to listen. The prosecution argued psychosis, said she was mentally ill. Said the church only made it worse. But the defense, they leaned on her words, and she chose this. She asked for it. She believed this fight wasn't just hers, it was for others. The verdict came down guilty with suspended sentences on all 3. no prison time. The court didn't know what to do with this. Not really, because it wasn't just a death. It was a question. What if it was real? After the trial, Father Alt left the priesthood. He said every night since Annalise died, he still hears her say, "I'm free now." But they're not. Chapter 8, The Grave That Breathes. They buried Annalise Michel in Kellingbird Cemetery, a modest stone, a photo pressed beneath glass, no date of death carved in, just the date her body gave out. But her grave never stayed quiet. People started visiting. Some left rosaries, some brought candles, some came just to listen. Not gas, not wind, breathing. One woman said she felt her rosary beads grow hot. Another swore she heard a child's voice whispering in Latin. The church denied it, called it hysteria. But the voices kept coming, some weeping. A few left laughing, but not the good kind of laugh, the kind that doesn't belong in a human throat. They exhumed her body in 1978. Her parents requested it, said they had dreams that her body hadn't decomposed. When they opened the coffin, the church sealed the records, but those who saw said her corpse looked too intact, too preserved, as if something had kept it from fading. Father Renz was asked one last time if he believed it was real. He said, "I saw 6 faces behind one set of eyes. That wasn't mental illness, that was war." They say the demons left her. And I hope that's true. Because her youngest sister said that sometimes in the still hours before the morning, she would hear a low growl or feel her bones tense for no reason at all. I wonder if she carried them away or just held them back long enough for someone else to prepare. And that is the story, The Exorcism of Annalise Michel. The movie, The Exorcism of Emily Rose, was based on this true story. I hope that you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next story. We'll take a 10-minute intermission, and then I'll be right back. So I'm going to go ahead and show the gown on YouTube so that everyone can see it. Hopefully I've got it back at a good angle for everyone. And this is the gown. It's got a full skirt with a gray satin skirt there. The sleeves on this gown are just absolutely beautiful. When I put them on, I was like, oh my goodness, I feel like a princess. It was very lovely. And then here is the bodice. It's got good detail off the shoulder, the stays, the laces are in the back and they are laced up. And so that is the silver gown. You can also wear it up on the shoulder if you wish, but I prefer to have it off the shoulder just a bit. I think I got it set. Hopefully. I have never had TikTok to do that before. I don't know what that was. I really don't. I was so confused. I'm like, what is it doing? If anyone else has had that issue before with YouTube, not with YouTube, with TikTok, please let me know, because that was extremely odd to me. Yeah, that was very, very odd. I don't know why it did that. That was fun. Thank you for the follow. All right, let me see if I can switch this out now. Seems like it's charged a little bit. Slightly. Let's see. Turn this back like this. Hello there. Hey, Indiana girl. How are you? I know. I hated Justin T. I do. Hey, Love Slug. Thank you for the follow. I've never had TikTok to do that. That was really odd. So, hey, the Buffalo Sky. So normally, if you reach, like an hour on the TikTok live, or sometimes a little bit over, it will pop up and you have to choose a puzzle and you have to drag it across and fit it in the spot. This time, it was just asking, choose such and such from photo. I would go to click on it and it would say incorrect, incorrect. It did it like 13 times. So I don't know what that was, but I hope it doesn't do it again. because that was very odd. Yeah, they tried to charge for neglect. They sure did. I do think though that part of it was the mom. Um, I think she was just, yeah, but it was different, Ray Bab. I've never had one like that before. It was very odd. Yeah, I saw the light doing something weird on YouTube, and I was like, what is that? So odd. I don't know. Let me try something. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted. Oh, I think I like the red. Oh, The Exorcism of Emily Rose is so good. I mean, it is so, so good. Yeah, that one's really good. It has, trying to think who the actress is. Laura Dern. You look luminescent on YouTube. Oh, good, Matt Granny. I might just keep it on red permanently. I'm serious. Let me try something. I just want to, since we're on a little bit of a break, I want to experiment with something. I'm sure you don't mind, right? Let me check something out back here. Hang tight, everyone. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at that. Is that better on YouTube? Let me know. I know it looks good on TikTok. I can see that. Wow. Wow. That looks amazing. Let me know what you think. That looks terrifying. I think I'm scared. Is that better for everyone on YouTube? Let me know. Oh, wonderful, Jester. Good. Hello, Danica. How are you? You dig it? Good. You like it, Elena? Good, good, good. All right, so just a couple things. Merchandise is coming soon. So be on the lookout because there's going to be t-shirts, hoodies, tumblers, coffee mugs, what else? Coffee mugs, blankets, throws, pillows, probably, baby clothes, doggy sweaters and things, candles, someone suggested perfume, nightshirts, anything else that you can think of in there, please post it because it could be something that we're not even thinking about, honestly. Another thing is subscribers. We're very, very close to hitting the 200 mark on YouTube for subscribers. Please follow it because it's free and you'll have access to every live. They do record and then they'll be available the next day. Hello, Temples59 Joe. How are you? Kimmy's going back to TikTok. Thank you. I think it looks a lot better on YouTube now. For some reason there was like a bright flash of light and I don't know what that was. Yeah, that's what it is. Just read, yes. What do you think, Truth Positive? 198 subbies. Can we get 10 more subscribers tonight on YouTube? If you were on TikTok and you've been with me a while, you know the kind of quality content that I provide. So please, if you'll go and subscribe on YouTube, it is free, and you can go on there and watch, videos. Also, I'm going to be posting the first 5 chapters of my book, The Haunting of Hastings House. That's going to be coming. There's many things that are on the way, so just stay tuned. Consider becoming a subscriber on TikTok if you wish. You have access to stickers. Let me see those stickers, Grims. The lords and ladies are the subscribers on TikTok, and they have Grim by their name. And there's some great stickers that are also in there. Yes, very, very close, Mary. You're able to hear me, Truth Positive? Good. There's those stickers. That's what I like. That's what I like to see. I love the background in red. Oh, that's wonderful, Elaine. Tell your mother thank you so, so much. Yes, absolutely. Just pop over and subscribe on YouTube. We're trying to get monetization on there. It takes 1,000 subscribers. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of viewing hours. So a lot, for sure. Can you all hear me okay on YouTube? Wonderful. Good job, Mary. Good job to my wonderful night watchers on TikTok and YouTube. What a great job you do. I want to thank everyone tonight. It is going to let me thank people. Good. That makes me happy. I would like to thank the following gifters: Karen, Jody, Pamela, Mia, Brandy, Pom Mom One, Agent Ange, Bearded, thank you, Jennifer Ann, who's Vicente, thank you, Dimples, thank you, Jess, thank you, Kimmy, thank you, Wolves Whisper, thank you, Cece, Funky Beth, thank you for the rose, thank you so much, David, thank you, Karen Coleman, thank you so, so much. Appreciate it. This live would not exist without you. It would not. So I thank you so, so much for being here and for supporting Twisted Tales Live. Thank you so, so much. Newly remodeled, yes. All right. It's time for the second story of the evening. The Wicker Street Haunting. But first, let's do our normal preparations. Lower your lights. Lock your doors. Close your curtains. Light a candle for ambiance. Perhaps you're snacking on popcorn and your favorite beverage. Sit back and listen as I tell the story of the Wicker Street Haunting. Wrap yourself in your warmest blanket to avoid the chills that are about to enter your room. Let's begin. Chapter 1. It started with the closet door. First person. It was 1977. My husband wanted me to go and look at a house. It was on Wicker Street. It was a small two-story craftsman with peeling white paint and a rusted mailbox. We bought it really cheap. We were thrilled. The seller was eager to sell it, and I remember the realtor told us they had to leave. So, they're giving you a good deal on it. So we bought it cheap. No one ever told us why. No one ever told us why that they left in a hurry. We found that out on our own. My husband, James, was a Vietnam vet. My name is Helena, and we were just looking for some peace, honestly. When he was on tour, I lived with my mom and dad and our daughter, Katie. And there were lots of rules. So I was happy that we were living in our own home and there were no rules. If I wanted to get up at 10 o'clock and go out in the yard, I could. Nothing really seemed off to me about the house, to be honest. I mean, it was an old house. Definitely needed some paint on the walls to give it a facelift, but I just really wasn't, I never thought that it was haunted. Now, Katie, on the other hand, she used to say, Mom, I don't want to sleep in my bedroom alone. Why? I don't know. Something just feels, something doesn't feel right to me. She was 5 at the time. And she just refused to sleep in her room. I demanded one night to know what was going on because it was just like every night, same time, sun going down, Katie started to cry. And she would just cry. She would say, I don't like the dark. Okay, we'll turn a lamp on in your room. No. I asked her one morning at breakfast, Katie, honey, why don't you want to sleep in your room? You got your own room now. You're a big girl. No. Why? Can you tell me why? Because the closet door opens. James was sitting at the table too. And he left. And I cut a stern look at him. Okay, I tell you what. I'll sleep in the room with you tonight. How about that? I'll sleep in there with you, and I promise you, it's just your imagination working overtime, honey. That's all it is. No, I'll sleep with you in your bed. But if we don't hear anything, tomorrow night, you sleep in the bed by yourself. Deal? No. How about we get you a candied apple from the store? Or better yet, we can make them ourselves. How about that? With peanuts? Yes, with peanuts. The night that I slept in Katie's room, nothing happened. And true to Katie's word, she slept in the room alone the next night. But around the same time, around 2, 3 a.m. in the morning, she would wake up terrified, screaming. And I would run in there. Katie, what is the problem? I told you there is nothing in this house. There is nothing in your room. Uh-huh. So she slept with James and I. The next morning, I was exhausted. Katie kicked like a mule. I asked James if he would take her to school because I needed a break. I needed a major break. I was in the kitchen and I heard the dryer stop. So I went in the laundry room. It's doing it again, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't see anything. Oh my goodness. What in the world? A sheep. See, I'm hitting everything. If it does it this time, I don't know what to do. A basketball. Which of these objects has a brim? A hat. A hat has a brim. Which of these objects can quack? A duck. This is highly annoying. Oh my goodness, it did it that time. Okay, I don't know what's going on there. I have no idea. So I'm in the laundry room and I'm folding the clothes. And I heard a soft rhythmic tapping coming from behind the door that we kept all of our cleaning supplies in. James came in a little bit early and I told him about it. He said, "You're just like your daughter now, you're making things up." And I said, "No, I'm not making things up. I'm telling you, I'm hearing things." He looked inside, there was nothing inside. He opened up Katie's closet door, nothing. Katie just absolutely refused at this point to sleep in her bedroom. She just wouldn't do it. And I was tired of fighting it. So I said, "You know what? You can just sleep in the bedroom with us." She slept like a baby. Next morning, I remember it was raining outside. It was cloudy, no school. I was in the kitchen and I was fixing breakfast and I heard Katie running down the hallway. She came in the kitchen and she was pulling on my apron. "Mommy, come look, come look." I followed her up the stairs to her bedroom. Her toy box was overturned and there were toys scattered everywhere. everywhere across the floor, on her bed. The craziest part is all these toys were turned around and they were facing the closet. And each one was perfectly aligned. Her elephant, her horse, her stuffed hippo, everything was turned toward the closet. Katie, did you do this? No. Katie, you better tell me the truth right now. Did you do this? No. The next thing that happened that was very weird was our cat came up missing. He followed me everywhere, so when Morris wasn't anywhere to be found, we started on a search of him. We searched everywhere. The house wasn't that big, so how many places could he be? He had been missing for about a week. Could not find him. We posted signs on telephone poles. We walked around the houses asking if they had seen a gray and white striped cat. About a week later, James came in the kitchen. Katie was watching cartoons in the living room. He just walked in and motioned for me to follow him. He led me to the garage, and there was a small storage area back there. We always kept the door closed. He told me to look inside. And there was Morris, the cat. He was, he looked as if he had been attacked. He was all bloodied. I remember his claws were halfway hanging off in some places because he had tried to claw his way out. But the crazy thing is that garage door was always closed. We didn't want Katie to get in there. So how in the world had our cat ended up in the closet? I asked Katie though, did you lock Morris in the closet in the garage? No. Her answer for everything. I looked at James. James, did you somehow do it by mistake? Honey, do you think I would do that with our cat? No one claimed to have opened a closet door and put Morris inside, and I knew that I didn't do it. About a week later, I woke up and my leg was burning, and we had this thick, scratchy wool blanket on our bed. James liked it. I didn't, but I woke up and my leg was burning, and I threw the cover off of me. I reached down and I felt something. I got up and I went to the bathroom and turned the light on and looked, and there was a scratch about this long, and it was bleeding, and it was pretty deep. Not deep enough to have stitches, but it was pretty significant. I always got on James about not trimming his toenails, and so I went back in the room. How many times have I told you that you need to trim your toenails, James? Look what you did to my leg. I lifted my leg and I showed him. Honey, I didn't do that. Well, someone did. I trimmed my toenails. That wasn't me. And then, just a couple days later, I saw a scratch across the back of Katie's neck. And I looked at it, and it looked almost identical to mine. I asked James what was going on. What do you want me to say? Some spirit is coming in our room at night and scratching your legs up? Some spirit took our cat and locked it in the garage door, in the closet? Some spirit took all of Katie's toys out of her toy box and placed them facing the cabinet? I mean, the closet? What do you want me to say? You're losing it. Helena, now, let's just stop this. Do you want to move back in with your mom? I can make that happen. Do you want to do that? No? Okay, then stop sounding like our daughter. Okay? Fine. So, the next thing that we decided on was all the bedrooms were the same size. We had taken the bedroom closest to the street so we would get all the morning sunlight. But we decided that we were never going to have our time back if Katie kept sleeping in the middle of us. So we made the decision to change bedrooms, to switch them. Katie was happy with that. It seemed like everything was fine. There was no strange occurrences for a little bit. And so it seemed like the perfect solution. I was laying in bed beside James. The house was quiet. Katie was asleep. And there was a bulb inside of the closet that was just a bare bulb, and you would pull a string and it would come on. So I'm laying there in bed. The closet door was closed, but the light came on. Freaked me out. I remember I leaned over. James! James! What? Look. James was rubbing his eyes. What? Honey, the light in the closet just came on by itself. What do you mean? Can you check it for me, please? So James gets out of bed. He goes into the closet. He opens the door. And the closet was small. And it wasn't really wide or wide in length. Honey, there was nothing in here. Then what turned the light on? And then we heard screaming. from Katie. I got out of bed and ran down the hall to her bedroom. She was sitting in the corner. Her eyes were wide and she was whispering. What is it, baby? What is it? It's the man. The man? Yeah, he wants me back in there. He doesn't want to be in this room. What does the man look like, honey? He's just black, and he just stands. So the man told you he wants you to go back to the other bedroom? Yes, that's what he said. That seemed very odd to me. Chapter 2. The Man in the Hatch. I'm not a superstitious woman. Not by any stretch of the imagination. But something was going on. I didn't believe in ghosts. I didn't believe in the supernatural. I didn't believe in poltergeist. I didn't believe in spirits. I didn't believe in things that go bump in the night. The only things that was scary was what was real. But something was going on in my house. Something that wasn't random. The closet door just would not stay shut. It didn't matter what we did. It just would not stay shut. It would always reopen. We heard scratching behind the walls, tapping, knocking. And we would smell things that stink, like damp wood and sulfur. Have you ever smelled sulfur before? It's horrible. And it was the strongest in Katie's closet. James just thought I was tired and that I was overworked. They're trying to get the house ready. He just chalked it up to nerves, basically. But then there was a night that Katie woke up and she was screaming. She ran down the hallway to our room. I could see blood coming down her leg. I pulled up her nightgown and looked at the inside of her thigh, and there was another long, jagged cut. It was time to stop pretending. There was something going on here. Something that couldn't be explained, no matter how hard we tried. I reached out to my mom and asked her what I should do, and she said, before you move in any house, you should always have it blessed by a priest. So she called her priest, Father Dower, from her church, and he was quiet, steady. He came over to the house and my mom was with him. He didn't look like the kind that would just spook away from a sound or closet door opening. We sat down at the kitchen table and he asked me, so what have you been experiencing? I told him, closet doors opening and shutting on their own, lights coming on their own. Our cat was locked in a closet. None of us did it. He was in there for over a week. He survived. I don't know how. The cuts. We have cuts that just show up in random places. That's the reason that I asked my mom what I should do, because the one that is on the inside of my daughter's leg, it's pretty deep. We didn't have to have stitches or anything, but still, she's terrified and she doesn't want to sleep in this house. Father Dwight looked at me and he patted me on the top of my hand. We'll take care of it. I have holy water and a cross. We were walking through the rooms downstairs, and he was praying silently over them. He then turned around and stopped and looked at me. Has anyone gone in the attic? The attic? Not that I know of. Where is it? It's upstairs in the middle of the hallway. There's a ladder. Take me there. James that came in about that time, he didn't like the idea of a priest in our house. He said it was a bunch of hocus pocus. Hate to tell you, but we don't have a key for the latch. Father Dwyer looked at him. I don't think we're going to have an issue there. He walked up the steps. We followed. And there in the middle of the hallway was the attic. There was a string. James pulled on the string and the ladder fell down quickly. So quickly, in fact, that he didn't have time to react. It smacked him right in the face, hard. It just barely missed his eye by that much. I didn't think that the priest should go up in the attic after that. But he insisted that he felt something there. He went up in the attic. He said it was just one big space. He moved about the room. I could hear him blessing the walls, the floors, the door. He came back down the ladder and he asked me where Katie's room was. I told him that it was our room now. He walked down the hallway to our room and he stopped cold. The closet door was wide open again. He walked over and looked in the closet. He turned the light on. He took the holy water and stepped out of the closet. And he took some in his hand and threw it in the closet. And the second that he did, the closet door slammed shut. He turned and looked at us. That wasn't the wind. No, it wasn't. Is that what you've been experiencing? Yes, Father, it has. He looked at us and whispered, this house doesn't welcome me. This house doesn't want your daughter. It's making its presence known, but it doesn't want your daughter. It's just trying to get attention. That night, I fixed him supper. He said he wanted to stay over because that was when the activity was mainly happening, was at night. So he slept on the living room sofa. I insisted that he sleep in a bedroom, but he said no. He wanted to be in the central location of the house. At 3:15 a.m., we woke up to doors slamming, screaming, lights blinking off and on. James ran downstairs and I was right behind him, and the priest was just staring up at the ceiling. His face was white as a sheet, and he was muttering something in Latin. The cross that he always carried. He had placed it on top of the TV, and it was upside down now on the floor. The biggest thing was he was grabbing his chest, and I could see blood coming through his shirt. He told us, I have to go. I have to get out of here. He left us that morning and he never returned. But before he did, he turned around. Whatever is here isn't good. You should leave. He then said, whatever brought it here, and it was brought in by someone, it remembers who brought it. It sounded like he was speaking another language to me. Chapter 3, the room above the house. James and I started to fight constantly. Katie would just cry. James didn't sleep really well after Father Dwyer left us. He sat in the kitchen every night. He said he was trying to protect us. Since that time that Father Dwyer had been up in the attic, now it would just randomly open. I was terrified that Katie was going to get hit by the ladder. James had a major bruise across the bridge of his nose. One night, he got tired of it. He tried to close it and it would open again. So he let the ladder down and he climbed back up in there. He asked me to give him a flashlight, and he said the attic was very small and it was unfinished. It had a plank floor. He said it was so hot up there. He said, but when I go up there, I don't feel like I'm alone. What is that? What does that mean, Helena? I don't know. There's nothing up there? No, nothing. Not 1 ounce of furniture, nothing. Not even any insulation. What was haunting our house? I called my mom again. Mom, what are we gonna do? We've sank every bit of money into this house. I thought this was gonna be a change for us. You know what I think? She said, I think that you and James and Katie need a break. So I'm gonna pay for y'all to go away for a week. A week vacation. Oh, Mom, you don't have to do it. I want to do it. You've been through a lot. I mean, you just lost the baby. Mom, I don't want to talk about that. I know you don't want to talk about it, but you need some rest. I tell you what, I'll do even better than that. Why don't you and James just go away? I'll take Katie. No, I'm her grandmother. I know what you are, Mom. I don't want her out of my sights right now. But she finally convinced us. That week that we were away was great. By the end of the week, we felt like we could make it, that we could survive whatever it was. But as we headed back down the street after picking Katie up and going back home, this dread just crept in again. Immediately, things started to happen again. Same thing. A few days later, I had Katie out in the yard. We were doing some garden work, planting some flowers. She had saw some marigolds that she wanted to plant. Neighbor, Miss Caldwell, we had met her a couple times. She came over to me in the yard. She said she was going to tell me something, but she didn't want to scare me with the little one around. I asked Katie if she could go and play with Morris. While y'all were gone last week, yeah, I don't want you to think I'm crazy or anything, but, well, at night, it was like someone was in your house. Lights were on. We heard the record player going one night. I walked over to water your plants on your porch. Helena, it sounded like someone was in your house talking. Did you hire someone? No. I'm telling you, it was like there was a family in there. No, what do you mean? I'm telling you, the lights were on, there was talking, there was music. No, there was no one at our house. Chapter 4. Katie. Katie started to draw a lot. She would draw pictures of the inside of a house. She would draw pictures of a boy standing beside her. I asked her who she was drawing, and she said, Cliff. His name is Cliff. Do you see Cliff? Every night. You see Cliff every night? Yeah. Does he say anything to you? Sometimes. What does he say? Bad things. Bad things. Like what? He doesn't want me to tell you anything. He gets mad. Then she started waking up in the middle of the night. She would just come in our bedroom and just stand in the middle of the floor. I would wake up and I would see her just standing there in the darkness, illuminated by the moonlight. And she was laughing. Katie, what are you doing out of bed? He says your skin is wearing out, Mommy. He says one day you're gonna leave me. And then she would laugh like it was a joke that only she understood. I took my eyes off of her for about 20 minutes one day. I was just tired and exhausted, and I took a shower. When I came back, she was in the living room up on the couch, and she was drawing on the wall. Katie, what are you doing? Drawing. Why? Cliff said to. It was the same picture over and over again. Katie, with her long blonde hair, and a boy standing just behind her. You're not supposed to be drawing on walls, Katie. You're not supposed to be drawing on walls. He says don't yell. I was angry. I'm not used to my daughter talking to me like that, and I was just exhausted, and before I knew it, I slapped her. She didn't cry. She smiled. She smiled at me. What are you smiling at? She looked at me. He's gonna get you, Mommy, for what you did. He doesn't like bad people. I was so stunned I didn't know what to do or what to say. I told James what I did. I I didn't want Katie in the house anymore. I wanted her gone. My mother was out of town with my father. So I asked James if he could call his mom and have Katie come and stay with her. He said, sure, I'll see if she'll do it. She was old and up in age, and she wasn't in the best of health, but I wanted anything. I wanted nothing more than for her to be out of the house. James' mother reluctantly agreed. She said she could only keep her for a couple days, that it was just too hard on her. I decided in those next 2 days that I was going to do what I had to do. I called up a local pastor. I asked him if he could come in and help me to cleanse the house. He refused. I tried to call the priest again. He wouldn't return my calls. I tried to talk to my neighbor. She would just not even look at me. She wouldn't even wave. Something was definitely wrong at 421 Wicker Street. I was cooking in the kitchen, and I walked toward the refrigerator to put some eggs back in there. Something shoved me straight toward the stove and toward the open burner that was still on. I managed to catch myself with my hand, and I burned a finger very badly. I was terrified. I told James what had happened. We went to the ER and I got my finger bandaged. We got a call around 9:00 p.m. and it was from James' mother. She said Katie was hysterical and wanted to talk to me. So she put her on the phone. Katie was screaming and crying. Come back and get me, Mommy. Come back and get me. Katie, no, you're staying at... I don't want to stay here. He said he's going to hurt you if I don't come back. Did you have a dream? Yes, but it was real, Mommy. It was real. Chapter 5. This has happened before. I called the realtor and asked her who we had bought the house from. She said, I cannot give you that information. That's privy. I understand that, but there are things happening in this house. Did you tell me everything? What do you mean? You know exactly what I mean. Aren't you supposed to tell us if something is wrong with the house? Did someone pass in the house? She was quiet. Tell me now. Ma'am, okay, the last family that lived in the house was not there that long. Um, they just said they were experiencing things like what? They didn't go into a bunch of detail over it or anything. If it's so bad, why don't you just put it back on the market? I told James when he came home from work that there was something that went on with the house with the other family. James, he got up from the dining room table, he went out to the garage, he got a hammer, and he just started tearing through everything. And when the hammer wouldn't do it, he went and got a crowbar, and he was punching holes through floorboards, ripping beams apart like a man possessed. And what are you doing, James? What are you trying to accomplish? What was it that tried to push you into a stove the other night, Helena? I don't know. I have no idea. After he demolished the attic, he sat down on the floor. He had made a hole in the wall, and I was just going around just looking at it. And I saw this one gaping hole, and I stuck my hand down in the hole. I just felt like something was there. I pulled out these papers, kids' drawings, a boy. Looked so identical to the one that my daughter had drew. Same figure, tall, no eyes. I held the paper and I rolled it up like a scroll, and I took it over to James. Come downstairs with me. So we went downstairs to the dining room, and I had some of the pictures that Katie had been drawing. We took them and laid them out beside the one that I found on the wall. They were almost identical. I needed to find out more about this house. The house wasn't massive, so we weren't sure what kind of history that we would find on it, but I went to the Historical Society, and they didn't laugh at me. I told them that we lived at 421 Wicker Street. There was this man, he was an archivist named Vincent that worked there. He said that he had heard of it before. He knew a little bit about the history of it. He said that 421 Wicker Street once was a boarding house in the 1940s. He said that people would come through that were taking a train to whatever destination and would stay at this boarding house. Women, children, drifters. he said that the boarding house was well known because, well, it had a history, a dark history. I asked him what he meant, and he said, well, there were people that came up missing there. A woman, her son, wait, a woman and her son. Yeah, all I know is, let me see if I can find some information here. Benson started looking in the archives and he found a photograph. It was an old spinster-ish looking woman in a long black dress. The house was definitely the house that we had bought. It was just older. And on the porch was this woman standing beside her, and she was dressed in black. So what happened? Well, I mean, people said that there were two sisters that ran the boarding house, and they were charged with doing some heinous things there. Like what? Well, people would just come up missing. One in particular was a woman that was staying at the boarding house, and her son, he just up and vanished. Do you have a name for the boy? You'd have to probably go to City Hall, and they should probably have all that information there. Thank you. I appreciate it. I left there and immediately went to City Hall. I looked up everything that I could on 421 Wigger Street. And sure enough, these two sisters were arrested and were charged with kidnapping children and doing things with them. Rituals. I told James that night everything that I had found out. What if? I couldn't find anything on Cliff, though. What if the boy who is haunting this house, Helena, no, listen to me, James. What if that boy, Cliff, it sounds like an old-fashioned name anyway. Katie drew pictures of him. I found pictures in the attic. What if these women, these sisters, did something to him? Like what? I don't know. I mean, they said people were coming up missing. You think these two women took this boy and... Look at this. And there was a letter back in the 1940s. It was a letter that was just found in one of the old lady's rooms. It was a letter in a childish handwriting that said, I didn't tell. I won't tell. I didn't tell. I told my mom about it, and she said, "Oh my goodness. Do you think it's somehow connected, maybe?" I wasn't sure. After I got off the phone with her, I walked upstairs to the room, to the closet. I opened it. Cliff, I called his name. Cliff, if it's you, I heard the story. I shook my head. I couldn't believe I was calling out a name. I left the closet and I let the ladder down in the hallway and went back up in the attic. And this time, I sensed I wasn't alone. The room was still in a shambles. Cliff, my name is Helena. My daughter is Katie. My husband is James. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to live here in peace. I heard a knock behind the wall. Small, but I could definitely hear it. Chapter 6. The door with the room behind it. I thought about those drawings that I had found on the wall. I saw the crowbar laying on the floor, so I decided to go ahead and tear the rest of the wall out. I could tell there was something else behind it. James came home and I asked him to help me. And we pulled down this wood, and then there was this door. It just wouldn't open. He hit it with a hammer, nothing. Then he pried it open with the crowbar. We finally got it open. Inside was a fairly small room, but it was as if it had been hidden. There was candles, drawings, symbols. Whoever had lived in this house had performed rituals. And it just felt wrong. It just felt evil. What is this room? It looks like where they would cast spells or something. Maybe the two sisters were witches. While we were in the room, we found another door. It was a small staircase that led from that room down to the kitchen, right where the laundry room was. in the closet where I had the mop, the broom, cleaning supplies. I knocked on it and I heard these things fall over. So this was like some type of a passageway for them to be able to go up there. And at the bottom, when I reached that closet, I could smell how the air changed. Thick, metallic. And what really got me was, as I shone the flashlight back up the stairs, I saw a bag. An old carpet bag, like they would carry on a train. I opened the bag and there were children's clothes inside. I brought it out and I sat it on the table. James, look what I just found. He opened it up and saw all these old-fashioned clothes in this carpet bag. He and I were convinced that we had stumbled on something that was never supposed to be found. I called my mom and told her what we had located. My mom is a spiritualist. She's into mediums and psychics and all that stuff. I think you should try to communicate with this boy. I feel like it's real, Mom. I feel like he's been trying to communicate with us this whole time. Chapter 7. What the police wouldn't say. We woke up around 6 o'clock a.m. that next morning, and the house was just alive. There were screams, sounding like people were being tortured. The closet door was opening and shutting. The attic door was locked. We couldn't get in to save our life. We didn't know what was going on. Katie had been sleeping in the middle of the bed with us, and she was gone. Her space was still warm in between us. And then I heard her knocking. It was coming from the attic. I ran into the kitchen and opened up that door. I went up the stairs. The stairs were so narrow. I burst into that room, that dark room with the candles and everything in there. Katie was inside of it. I grabbed her and I held her. Who put you in here? Cliff told me to come up and look at it. Look at what? Where he left. Where he left? Mommy, he's still here. I broke at that point. I couldn't do it anymore. We packed up what we could and we left. We were gone. We left all our furniture behind. My mom had me to talk to a medium after the incident at 421 Wicker Street. She said that the spirit that haunted this place was a child that had been murdered. I handed the carpet bag over to her and showed her what I had found in that house. The hidden stairs, the small room, the letter. She said we were good to get out when we did. The house on Wicker Street is rumored to be haunted. People have seen lights coming from the windows like our neighbor did when we were gone, screaming. Chapter 8, Wicker Street. As far as I know, 421 Wicker Street was never demolished. Despite petition after petition, and I was part of the one that was pushing for it, the city refused. The house is in good shape, they said. Someone else will move back in there, they said. Too costly, they said. And besides, there's no buyers, no heirs. So it just sat. If I did find out that someone was looking at it, I made sure they knew. That they were told, because we sure as heck word. Now, supposedly, from what I heard in 2014, 2 urban explorers filmed themselves breaking into 421 Wicker Street. They laughed, they mocked the legends. There was more rumors that 2 witches had lived at Wicker Street and had performed rituals with children. One of these guys claims that halfway through the video, the laughter stopped though. In one clip, the camera turns toward the attic door, still nailed shut like James did. But they said that they caught a recording of it saying something close to the attic door. I won't tell. I didn't tell. I won't tell. The video ends there. I've never seen the footage. I don't know. But the 2 boys, they claimed that after that happened, they just blinked out. And they were found sleeping on their porch the next morning, which was miles away, barefoot. Since then, others have tried. I know a family moved in there briefly in 2018, and from what I understand, they were only in there for 3 weeks. Supposedly, they had a little boy who stopped speaking in the house. And he would just stand in the yard and whisper to the attic window. I heard that they left in the middle of the night, never even returning for their furniture. The house is still there. Boards nailed across the door, windows painted black. "421 Wicker Street is haunted." I don't have absolute proof, but I do have that room that I saw and that my husband saw. So I know something was there. Something speaks through children. Something sleeps in the closets, watches through the attic cracks. You can visit it, from what I understand, but I wouldn't go there. I think Clifford's there. Maybe other children. I hope that it's all a lie, but I saw the news reports, the papers, that say differently. I hope no one ever moves back in that house. I hope you have enjoyed the Wicker Street haunting. That was a good one. I've never heard that one before until I started researching it. Let me know if you liked it in the comments. Thank you. I know, right? I saw that. Truth Positive, you're wonderful. I like your... Exactly. But isn't that crazy that that room was found? That is so odd. Y'all have a ball over there, I can tell for sure. So glad that you enjoyed them. You're welcome, Miranda. Welcome, Ray. Thank you, Legend of the 80s. Thank you, Julie. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Melanie. You didn't get to hear the whole thing? Oh, Robbie, I'm glad you liked it. Glad you liked it, Charlotte Thorby. Thank you. You're most welcome. I'm glad you liked it, Funky Beth. Good, Sherry. Wasn't that one good? I know, Sherry. Scary. Bloodberry, thank you for the follow. Diana, thank you for the follow. Thank you. Thank you, Diane. I think they can. I think they can definitely follow. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Funky Beth. Suzanne Thomas, thank you for the follow. Chloe, tonight was chiller night. Did it happen? Did you get chills? Well, I'm glad. You are most welcome, Theodosia. Oh, thank you, Sandy. Let me see. Let me go in and see. Thank you all for the twisted trinkets tonight. Thank you so much. Hey, Hopi Love. Thank you. Thank you, Carrie King. Thank you, Funky Beth. Thank you, Lulu. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a really, really good one. That's gonna have to go in my catalog of stories to tell. Definitely, for sure. Thank you, Dan. My fan is blowing hair on my face and making my face itch. Thank you, everyone. Dimple, thank you. So good. So good. Let's do that. Oh, let's do that. Trying to get the crystal bowl in the picture here. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Roxanne. Have a good night, everyone. Love you, Miranda. Good night, Martha. Ooh, that sounds like fun, Sherry. Can I turn on closed captioning on your YouTube channel? I'm sure I can. I would just have to look and see how to do it. I will figure it out for you. I can promise you that. So glad, Indiana Girl. You're going live, Sherry? Have fun. I've got to find out why that YouTube did that weird thing. Not YouTube, TikTok. Sorry. Just working on this. Okay, I will figure that out for everyone. Let me see. Closed captioning on YouTube. Closed captioning on YT. Closed captioning on YouTube live stream. You need to send captions to YouTube. I'll see if I can figure it out before tomorrow night, for sure. Does that work? Shirley, I hope your doctor's appointment goes well. I would think it would, for sure. Most definitely, you would think it would. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Spider Witch. Good to see you. Was there still white light on YouTube? Huh. Is it still on there? I don't know why it was showing. I'm not sure. Because it was acting kind of weird when I was looking at it. So that's the reason that I was curious about that. Trying to turn it a little bit. Oh. Oops. That wasn't good. Oh, it's good now then? Okay, just making sure. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. That's weird.